How's everybody's break been? Thumbs up? Good? Have y'all been getting lots of rest? Or has it been wild? My sleeping situation is ridiculous right now because I'm up till 3 and then I'm wanting to take a nap during the day, but I'm trying to wing myself out of that. Anybody else there right there with me or no? How are the kids doing? Does anybody have a report? I mean, has it been going okay with your kids?
Yes.
Is there an emphatic no out there?
I've been seeing both sides of it with my own children and then my class kids. So it's been going well.
Good. That's awesome.
Overall.
Good. It seems like there hasn't been just a whole lot of issues. There's just been a few here and there. So hopefully that's good news. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and start. It's close enough because a lot of this first stuff, I'm going to minimize you guys. Everybody can see my screen, I'm assuming. John, that's a yes. I don't see you anymore. I'm minimizing you. Here, let me get you back. John, is there any way I can just have you showing?
I don't know how to make that. Once you share a screen, you just get that box over.
I see it. Yeah. Okay. All right.
I'll unmute myself whenever I ask the question.
I think it actually flashes on me. I only have one window showing, and I think it's whoever's talking.
Yeah, I've got about 6 people. I can see, 6 people right now.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started. Basically, I have this up there because I wanted you guys to have this link. I thought it would be good for you to have something that you could go back to. This is just a website, so you can go to this link anytime you want to. John has put it in the chat, and you can also. This is going to be recorded. You are recording, correct, John?
Let me make sure that's happening.
Okay.
Good question.
I see a red recording dot.
It should have started automatically. I'm not finding that part of my window now.
Oh, let me see. Can I tell?
No, I got it now. I just got to move it back over here to this other screen.
Okay. All right. I'm leaving that to you. Okay. So basically this bit.ly link, if you'll just type this in, and it is case sensitive, or you can click on the link that John put in the chat. It's going to take you to this exact slide deck that I'm going through. And the reason I thought it would be good to do this is because even though you're going to have the video to go back and look at, these are some of the more advanced features in SeeSaw. So I like to have something that I can just kind of go through and pull up on my screen. So anyway, I wanted you guys to have this. So let's go ahead. The first one has nothing to do with SeeSaw, but it's a brainchild of mine, and I'm hoping that this will be helpful. My plan from here on out, for however long it is, if it's 2 weeks, 1 week, 10 weeks, who knows how this is going to go, but is to try to do one Zoom meeting a week. Hopefully, I like this time. Hopefully, we can always do it Thursday at 3, so everybody can kind of know when it is. Each week will be a different topic. I'm starting out with all SeeSaw stuff because I feel like that's going to be what we need right here at the beginning. But later on, I want to do some brain pop and discovery ed and things like that, the features in there that teachers may not know. So this week is another SeeSaw. Next week, I'm doing app smashing with SeeSaw because I didn't have time to do it in this. Then after that, we may branch into some other stuff. So this form, and I already have it pulled up. If you look at it, basically, don't do this now, but this is a way for me to collect ideas for training. So if you're saying, gosh, I wish we knew how to do this, then you can go in and enter your name, your campus, whatever, just put ideas, comments, and you can read this. I'm not reading it right now, but that's what this is for. I did put on there that this is not for tech issues. So if you have tech problems, that still goes in Eduphoria and Help Desk. This is just for like ideas for me to help you be successful. Okay. The next one over here, if you click on this, it's actually going to take you out to another collection. I'm calling this my remote learning collection. So basically, anytime I have something that I feel like is something you guys could use, I'm adding it to this slide deck. And again, this will always be the same. A lot of this stuff we're going to go over today, but some of it is completely unrelated. So it's just a hodgepodge. Most of it has to do with SeeSaw. And I'm just slightly going through here. Like sometimes I'll see other teachers that have amazing ideas. I'm like, gosh, I wish they knew that. So instead of me sending you an email every time, I'm adding it to this slide deck, and you can just click on this and look at it, and it's going to be stuff that I update constantly. So I wanted you to know where that was also. Okay. We're going to start in the meat of there's a couple more things. I wanted everybody to know about the distance learning program page, that it's on the website. Most of you already know that. I have it pulled up. I just want to make sure that you know to direct families to this part right here, because there's going to be more stuff added. There's help videos. It's a good place if we can start getting them to go there. It will help you also trying to troubleshoot a lot of stuff. So just know that there's teachers, families, and counseling services, and I think there's more coming. Right, John? Okay. All right. This is really important. So I've had so many questions about this, and I think the message is out by now. But this YouTube thing is what I want everybody to know, and you guys spread the message, because I'm still getting emails today. I think it's a misunderstanding. Everything that is on a school-issued device, their student iPads, will be blocked exactly the way it was when they were in school. So they couldn't get to YouTube in school on their iPads, and in the same way, they will not be able to get to YouTube on their at home. Where this is coming into play a lot there's a lot of activities that are the videos are hosted on YouTube, and it's really kind of hard to tell. So when you're just giving out an activity or assigning activity to another teacher has done, if that's hosted in YouTube and our kids try to click on it, it's not going to work. So I just wanted you guys to make sure that you understood that that is blocked. I am trying, you've got Discovery Education, and that's one of the ones I really want to try to get to. And then I've got a couple of other pretty good websites, and I'm going to try to compile that are not hosted in YouTube, and I'll try to get that out to you guys, because I think there's some scrambling trying to get videos to kids, and everything's hosted on YouTube. John, do you have anything else to add about that?
Sorry, I was just responding to some other people. No, I think you summed all that up good.
Okay. All right. Just trying to get the message out as much as possible. Okay. So, whoops, I didn't refresh this. I just added this. Sorry. Yours shows this. Okay. So these home learning codes, I actually just had a SeeSaw webinar last night with ambassadors, and this just came out literally yesterday. So I wanted to show you guys this update, and you don't have to worry about updating iPads. This is on the teacher end. So when you go into the web, and I have my demo class pulled up, the reason you're going to want to know this is because I've already had 2 or 3 teachers email me and say, hey, I got a new kid. And the old way to do this, which you can still do this, is if you click on the home learning code right here, what happens is it's actually going to send you would click on your class, print codes, and y'all know how it looks. It's like a PDF, a combined PDF. So if you want to take a picture of it, a snapshot, a screenshot, whatever, that's fine. This question has been brought up several times, and it is very confusing. Every single time you generate this PDF, this code is different. So I can see how that would be confusing to parents and to teachers. If you generated this code more than once, you're going to say, hold up, these are not the same letters. And you're right, they're not. But that QR code is the same, and the letters, if they're attached to that child's letter, it's going to get them to the same place. So don't worry about it. Does generate new letters every time you do that, up to 50. So now I'm going to show you the new way. If you have a student move in, which this has come up and you're like, oh, I don't want to do all that. They have added this because it was a huge feature request. So basically what's going to happen, let me move John out of the way. When you go, and I actually have it here, you're going to go into your manage students. So I'm going to go into my demo class, wrench. Remember, that's all your class settings. You're going to go to manage students right here. It's buried a little bit. That's the reason I wanted to go over this. If you actually click on the child's name, Carly Blair, I'm going to go down here. They've added this where it says home learning code. When you click on that, there's this button that says get home learning code. What happens is that, and I can do it because this is a demo class, that generates only her letter. So if you have a child that moves in, you just are going to add their name to your roster in SeeSaw. Go to, after you do that, go to manage students, go into this area, and then you can just download this one page and send it either an email or take a picture of it or whatever. But my point is that they've separated those. So I think that's helpful. They had that. The other thing that's important is, do you see this right here at the bottom? Need to reset Carly Blair's home learning code. Don't do that unless it's absolutely necessary. We were told to warn people about this. This is in there prior to yesterday's update. SeeSaw was having to do this. So here's the scenario. If a child loses their home learning code, let's say they drop it or they leave it in a restaurant. Well, of course, they're probably not going to restaurants. I mean, the cool thing about this is you probably won't have to do this because kids aren't out and about. But if this code is compromised in some way, you now as a teacher can go in and reset this. Just know that when you reset this, it makes the other code that was supposedly compromised invalid. So then the child would have to sign back in with this code. So hopefully that makes sense. You won't normally have to use it, but I can see how there could be a reason at some point that you might need to use that. Okay, let me get out of this. The other question that I've had with home learning codes, I'm trying to think in my head. Okay, if it comes back to me, I'll come back because it's like one of those things I've completely forgotten now. That's the reason I have slides too, because my brain goes all over the place. Okay, so let's talk about, here's my plan for today, and it's gonna be fast and furious, and you're gonna strap on your seatbelts, and I'm probably not gonna have a lot of time for questions just so I can get it in. That way you can have the information to go back to later. So we're just going to go through these things, and I'm going to try to cover some little known facts or some tips about SeeSaw that are not just the regular things that you would know about. I will tell you that if I get to a page that covers a video I've already done, I'm not going to talk about that. I have it labeled in there that I've already done that video, and I linked out to that video. So you don't have to, I'm not going to go back over that stuff. All right, so free versus paid. Let's have a quick discussion about this. This has come up because a lot of the features that we really need in our district are with the paid version. If you get a personal paid version, it's called SeeSaw Plus. If you get a school paid version, it's called SeeSaw for Schools, which even has additional stuff. Right now, the cool thing about this is most people had not done this yet. I only have 2 or 3 teachers that this is affecting, that they can't do this. But I did a video that shows you how to go in and activate SeeSaw Plus. So and I didn't link that here. I should, oh yeah, I did. You know what? I think I did. Let me see. Oh no, I didn't. That's not the same thing. Okay, so anyway, it's on my video playlist, and it just says activate SeeSaw Plus. What happens is you get these abilities. So we're going to talk about these as we go, and I'm not going to read these to you, but this is what you have. Oh, here's, and it shows you exactly how to do it. So go to your name, go to the cog wheel, the settings wheel, click on account settings, go to manage subscription, and then you're going to, it'll say activate SeeSaw Plus or get SeeSaw Plus. The other question I've had is, well, I don't have that option. Well, the reason that you don't have that option, if this is a problem is because at some point, since you've had this account, you have already activated that free 60 days. So now that's up. And it just means you will not have these SeeSaw Plus features, that you'll be fine without it. And I mean, we can explore if there's a reason, we can talk about that. Anyway, and this also tells you how long you have SeeSaw Plus. Do what, Joe? I mean, John?
If theirs is already run out, go ahead and let me know that, and
Okay.
I'll talk to them. I'll see. I'm not going to promise you anything, but we're talking to them about some other stuff too. So we'll see if there's any way they can reset that.
Okay. Yeah, I know for sure that there's 3 teachers, but I haven't had a lot of people say they can't get in there. So we'll see after this. Okay, moving on. Class management. So this is going to be pretty fast and furious from here on out. I put this little thing up here because in all my SeeSaw trainings, this has helped me understand this with these classes. Co-teachers, I've already done a video on that. And down here at the bottom, it says previous tutorials. You have all of these things that I've already done. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I do want you to know is up here at the top, this classes are islands. In SeeSaw, when teachers are looking at their classes on the left-hand side under their account, I want you to understand that those are islands. There is no bridge. And what I mean by that is that there is no way for a teacher to mesh those together. If you are assigning assignments to your classes, you have to go to each to land on each class to do that. So I hope that just helped me to understand that a little better at the beginning. The way we're doing it at SSISD is you're each creating your own class. Your co-teacher's creating her class, and then you guys are making each other co-teachers. That means each child only has one portfolio, and you as the teacher are toggling back and forth between classes. We really are going to try to keep it so that the kids are not having to do that all the time. I do have a little caveat in here for the special teachers. They are actually going in as co-teachers, but they would have to go in as co-teachers for both of those. With the with the SeeSaw Plus, you can have, oh gosh, I think it was 5. Let me go back. Okay, so the free version is 2. If you are SeeSaw Plus, there's 5 teachers. If we had SeeSaw for schools, I think it goes to 10. But so with the paid version, it will allow you to be able to get, whoops, wrong direction, your special ed teacher in there. Okay, and we're going to talk about folders. So over here, I'm not going to do too much of this. I just want you to know that when you post, just always look for everything you can find under the 3 dots. In SeeSaw, everything unfolds under the 3 dots. So when you are posting something, these are all the things that you have options to do. Under an activity, these are your options. We're going to talk briefly about calendar view. Most of the time, you're always going to have it under feed view, but there is a calendar view. And then there's actually a little part in here where I can show you how you can watch all of your kids while they're working, and you can see who is finished with an activity. It's called whole class activity view. And to get there, you click on the gray banner, but I actually have another page. So activities, I'm not going to go too much into this because if you'll look at previous tutorials, I already have a video about creating activities, how to customize them, how to schedule them, and I want to draw your attention. Every time you see this plus, that means that is a SeeSaw Plus feature. And then sharing. So I'm not going to talk about that too much. Just know that you have options. You can add activities to collections, which I have a slide for. You can copy and edit, which means that when you click on the activity, it makes a copy of it, and then that goes into your library. Before you can edit an activity, you would have to copy it first, or copy and edit. If you want to get rid of an activity, just click this, remove from my library, and then share activity. I think that I put something, I'm pretty sure that I've done a video on how to share, yeah, right here, share activities. This is new. I've dropped this in here. When you are actually searching for activities, and I'm going to go to my activity library. I just wanted to show you. They just added this recently. So if I'm in the community and I'm going to subjects, they've added a new, this wasn't there, I don't know how long it's been there, but it's fairly new, home learning. So you could look in third grade and look at all the home learning things that have already been dropping in there for each grade. So I just wanted to bring that out because that's pretty new. If you do not have this SeeSaw icon shortcut one page, you need it. So you can either take a picture of it, put it on your phone, you can download it to your computer. But if you start editing and creating your own activities, you're going to need this, especially if your kids are new to SeeSaw or if they're non-readers. And then we talk about that in a minute. Okay, now the little yellow bubbles that say quick trip, that's funny. Quick tip. I've got these on several slides. These are just little ideas that I want you to know that are options. Just understand that the activity library is not something that you have to be in your SeeSaw class to visit. So if you're just on the web and you just want to check on the activity library, you can just go to it. Now, if you want to make a copy of something and put it in your library, then you do have to be signed into your account. But this is just a link. Here's the link. And I'm just showing you, you know, you can put a link on your desktop. You can put it up here in your we're not getting into this right now, but if you know how to bookmark, and you can also pin it to your, what is this called, John? Trey? What's that called? Pin it to your what? Task bar. Yeah. So I'm just telling you that that's an option. If I click on this, it's just going to take me to Activity Library. You do not have to be logged in to use that. Okay, moving on. All right, using emojis. This is something that I feel like a lot of teachers probably know. Some may not know this. Kids have iPads. Just know that they have options to do this. There are some really good ideas that teachers have used emojis for. Of course, you're going to find a lot of activities in the activity library that the kids use emojis to actually complete the assignment. You're going to find that. Most kids know how to do that. That's not an issue. But what I wanted to show you is this is a really good idea I found for another fellow ambassador who they were looking for a way to group their students. And so what she did is, I'm going to go back into my class. She actually wanted, let's say all of your special education kids, you want them in one area, or let's say you want your kids to be in, oh, am I in the wrong class? Oh, here they are. So I just want to show you, of course, if you're K through 3, your kids are going to have the SeeSaw icons. If they are 4 and up, they will not. It'll just have an initial. But this right here, I've used emojis to group my kids. So if you needed that for whatever reason, just for easy reference, that's one way you can do it. You can also put numbers or letters. So it's going by whatever the first thing is, and that's an easy way to do that. Some of them are also putting emojis in front of the folder labels for non-readers. So the kids learn that every time they see a pencil, it's the writing folder. So just that's an idea. And then these profile icons, I have no idea what you use those for, but I didn't know these existed. And I thought elementary teachers probably need these for some reason. This is actually a PDF of all of the cute little SeeSaw icons that they have, and you can print those out or send them as an image or whatever. Down at the bottom, if you're wanting to know if you can use icons on the web, you can. I've tried this out and it works beautifully. You just go to this website, click on it, and it takes you to, whoops, why did that not take me to the website? Did I not link that? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I'll go back and link it. Sorry. This is actually a website that you can just go and you just copy it and put it in like a emoji. Oh, sorry, that's mobile. No wonder. Hello. So anyway, there's several of these, but this one works great. So if you ever wanted to, you can use that, and I've got it linked in there. Okay. Next, under more options, and let me show you where this is. When you are in your class and you are wanting to edit an activity, so I'm going to go into activities, and this is just another one of those tips, little known facts. I didn't even know this was here till recently. So I wanted to pass this on. I'm going to go into my library. I'm going to go to this activity that I have. It's really running slow right now. This may not be a great time for this. All right, I'm going to go here and I'm going to edit this activity. Well, I'm going to have to copy it into mine first. Okay, so down at the bottom, you've got this thing called more options. Honestly, most people just ignore that, but I wanted to show you what's down there. This is a place for teacher notes. So if you wanted to share this activity out with a teacher, you could put ideas in there, especially you guys where you're having one person make the activity and sharing it with your group. This is a good place. The kids never see this. The other thing, I'm not sure, that's not what I was looking for. I'm sorry, hang on one second. Delete. There is a way that you can also tag, maybe it's back in the class. Let me go into an activity, edit activity, maybe it's here. More options. Yeah, okay, so I'm sorry. After you've already assigned it, when you click edit activity, down at the bottom, this is, I've never noticed this, but boy, it's handy. So if you click on this edit down here at the bottom, this is where you can actually assign activities to drop on a certain day. You're scheduling them. So just know that this is down here. You don't have to go out and do this. As soon as you do it, it's down here, your folders. You can decide what folder you want this to go in. You can create a folder from here, which is nice. And skills, I'm going to tell y'all, I'm not getting into skills today. Skills are really going to be for assessment. And since we're not assessing it, I'm skipping skills. But again, the scheduling and skills are both SeeSaw Plus. But I wanted you to know that that's down there because it's kind of hidden. Okay, next we are going on to the whole class activity view. I'm going to show you this. Go back. Whoops. Let me get rid of some of these. I'm sorry. Okay, so in activities, let's say that I have assigned this and I want to see how my kids are doing, who's finished with what. If I click on this gray bar right here, what happens is it shows me all the kiddos that are in my class. It will show me them if they're actively working on it. You can tell, of course, these are just demo classroom. If they're finished with it, you can tell. So I just want you guys to know that this is there. But you have to go into your end of it. The kids can't do this, and you click on the gray bar, and then you can populate all of these. I think if I click on one, yeah. So if I click on one, it'll pull it up big. It's similar to Apple Classroom. If you've used that, that's kind of what it reminds me of. So I wanted you to know that that is an option. We're going to talk about I'm just going to breeze through this. These are the types of activities that you have an option for. You can do worksheets, and what they're calling worksheets are something that you pull in like a PDF or an image, and the kids either fill in the blank or type on top of it. That's one option. A task, you can do an activity that's not necessarily digital, but it tells them what to do, like you're going to go do this and this and this and this, and maybe the image is just a starter or an idea to get them thinking. You can do annotations, so anytime you pull in an image or it could be a picture from the web, it could be a worksheet, whatever. Just know that the annotation part works in drawing, voice, and text. So that means that the kids actually draw on top of it, they can talk on top of it, or type on top of it. And then the last one that I included in here, I'm calling physical world or manipulatives. And what I mean by that, it's similar to one of the other ones, the task one, but basically, you know, go out on a hunt. Like this one is I See Spring. So they're going to go out and take a picture of spring and then talk about what they see. And then their template is just a picture of a spring picture. So this would be, it could be like if they're sorting silverware and you want them to sort them in a certain way, or that's what I mean by physical. It's not digital. Okay. Collections. I don't know how many of you know that collections are here. I love collections. You can see I have a whole bunch that are not in collections. Just very quickly, I'm going to show you where collections are. They're going to be in your library. So when you go to Activity Library, go to My Library. wow, this is turning really slow. Then I'm going to go down to the bottom. If you scroll down, it's a good thing I put screenshots in. Okay, right down here at the bottom, this is below my activities. So if you look right here, you can create, and I think you get up to 10 collections. I'm almost positive. You can create these collections, and this is a way for teachers to organize. Kids do not see this at all. It has nothing to do with them. So, for instance, if I have letter tracing and I click on, these are all of my activities that I've made for letter tracing. It's just a way for you guys to organize your collections. I'm sorry, your activities. And you can tag those activities when you make them with a certain collection, so that it'll just a way to keep you organized. Just making sure everybody knew that was there. You can see I gave instructions about how to do that. You're going to tap the add button, assign it, go to my library, and then down here at the bottom it says create, and then you're just going to click add to collection any activity. Okay. Filter by folder. I'm not sure if you guys know this is an option or not. This is a little bit busy, but sometimes these things are notes to myself, so I can show you where these are. When you are using folders, and I did a whole video on folders, so I'm going to kind of assume that you've watched that. If you haven't, these little hands tell you that this links out to something, and this actually links out to my video on folders. So basically, you're going to go to the child, and let me follow my own instructions here. There are two ways to look at this, and the reason I put mobile view down here is because I was looking on my phone, and it just does not look like this. On mobile view, if you're on your phone or iPad, it just has the little filter button, and you click that, and then everything else is the same. But if you're on the web, let me go to, okay, let me go back to my class. Remember, this is going to be in your journal area. So make sure when we're talking about this that you know if you're in your activities or your journal area. So I'm in my journal area right now, right? And then right here, you can see where it says class journal. If I click on this folder right here, these are all my kids. So if I click on this folder, it's going to say, okay, teacher, which of these folders do you want to see? Well, you can see I don't have hardly anything in here, but let's say that I have a whole lot of wonders or writing tasks. The kids can tag these, but really and truly for you guys, until your kids kind of know what they're doing and with you not in the class with them, I'm going to teach you or show you how you turn it in settings for only the teachers to tag. That way you can tag it as a folder. This is especially useful if you've got special education teachers that are in the classroom with you. For instance, if you have a teacher named Mrs. Smith, and I'm going to create a folder right quick, and it's going to be purple, and I'm just going to call this Mrs. Smith. This would be a great way so that when Mrs. Smith assigns an activity, she can actually click, and I have it right here. Right here, the more options, do you see this? She can click that and go ahead and add that to her purple folder. That way, when Mrs. Smith, the special ed teacher, comes in and she's like, I don't want to look through all this mess that these kids are doing. Not that you think it's a mess, but you understand what I'm saying. You can actually just go straight to the folder, because you've got the same rights as a teacher, the special ed, and y'all can pass these on to them. She would just click right here, and every activity that was tagged with her name will show up right here, no matter who the kid is. So I just wanted you guys to make sure that you knew that was there for them. You can actually go into a student also. So if I go into a student and click on the student folder, then it will show you how many items that student has in these folders. So Carly Blair has one item in demo. So if I go to demo, then I can see that this is the one item she has in demo. So you can sort it from the class journal, and you can filter it from the student also. I hope that's the reason I put the this is the class journal area, this is the student area, and then this is what it looks like under mobile view. So I hope that, it's a little confusing. When you're assigning activities, you can also edit. So let me show you this just very quickly. If I'm going into my demo class and I want to assign an activity, sorry. Am I good on time, John? I still got 30 minutes, right? Okay, it may take it, and I'm going fast, but I'm wanting to show everybody. Okay, so let's say that I want this, I'm going to assign this, right? So I'm going to go ahead and assign it to my demo class. Oh, darn it, that's not what I meant to do. Right here, if you click, before you click assign to class, you're going to click over here, edit students folder and skills. Remember, we're not talking about skills today, but students or folders. So let's say that if this is Miss Smith and she only has 2 kids in this class that she's working with separate assignments, she's going to click these 2 kids. She can also at the same time go into folders and say, hey, I'm Miss Smith, I'm the special ed teacher. I only want to give it to those 2 kids, and I want that to be tagged with my color folder. So when she does that and then check and then assign, only those 2 kids will get that activity, and they're already pre-marked with Mrs. Smith's folder color. So hopefully that is clear. That's the reason I wanted to show you guys that, because I know this is going to come up. It's just easier. Private folders are the other option that you have. Again, notice over here, this is a plus symbol because that's SeeSaw Plus. It will go away after 60 days, but these are going to be used between teachers. So think about this. Both teachers have equal access to private folders. You just have to go into that class because you don't have there's not a hierarchy. Both teachers can see everything everybody else can in both of the classes. So, for example, if I wanted to tag a note to your special ed teacher and you want to say, hey, Miss Smith, you can read my note. And you can text, you can talk, whatever. But if you want to just put a little note in here and make sure that it's private teachers only, as long as you tag it with that, only teachers can see that. So I just wanted you to know that that is there. And it's also right here at the very top when you go to select the folder. So you just click here, and then it's always tagged right here with private teachers only. So hopefully, just make sure that in your settings, let's go there right now, because if your settings are not correct, you won't have that option. When I go to my wrench and I go to folders right here, I have to make sure that my folders are turned on, which I guess they are. This right here is what I was telling you about. If it's on never, of course they won't see that. You probably don't want your students, because what's going to happen is every time they turn in an assignment, it's going to flash the folders up there and say, hey, which folder do you want to drop this in? Your older kids maybe could do that, but you would have to tell them what folder to put it in. My suggestion is just to leave it on teachers and let teachers tag it for the folder that you think it should go in. So that's what this is. Okay, moving on. Next is draft. Draft, again, is SeeSaw Plus, but you guys have it. I think it's amazing. Students are going to see it, so there's not really any way of getting around it. They have this option. When they go into the class, I'm going to go into a journal. I'm sorry. Oh, my computer's freaking out because I'm telling it different things. So I'm going to add a response to here. And I'm going to pretend like I'm a student. I'm just going to do whatever, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then if I'm not finished, I have this option. As a student, I can go right up here and click draft. And what happens is even though I'm not finished, it doesn't turn it into the teacher yet. It's kind of like on hold. The other option is if you turn it in, our workaround used to be before we had the SeeSaw Plus, they would turn it in and then you would have this option down here where they could edit item, which is in your settings. So they might could go back in and click edit item and do this. But if you wanted to not have that option, it's amazing, the draft. I love it. But it's something, again, that is, and you can see right here that this is the student, and there you can see that it's in draft mode only, and that the you and the child are the only two that can see it. You can go in and look and see where they are as a teacher, but it's not like turned in like they're finished. The send back option is also only with SeeSaw Plus, but it's great because let's say that the kid just didn't finish something, they turned it in, but you're like, hold up, you didn't do half of what I asked you to do, or whatever. You can send this back to them and it shows up in their stream like it's back in their activities file. So instead of before you have to do is accept it, it would go into their folder, then you would have to reassign it. This is your ability to just send it right back to them. So hopefully that's clear. Okay, recording link. I have a lot of questions about this, so I wanted to dedicate some time to this. If your recording is too long or too large, and this is another option. Well, first of all, let's go over here and look. You've got a 5-minute recording within SeeSaw limit. So what I mean is if you're actually in the creativity tools and you're in recording, basically what's going to happen is you've got 5 minutes to do that. Okay. If you record outside of SeeSaw, let's say with your phone, your computer, whatever, there is no set minutes. It defaults then to your mass file size. So if you look down here at the bottom, when you upload an outside video, this is your file size maximum. I think there's no hard and fast minute. Is there, John? Do you know if there's any kind of conversion to that or no?
I don't.
Okay. I don't either. I couldn't find any. It just said, I think it depends on the quality of the video, and there's probably several factors. But for you guys that are looking for a way to upload video longer than 5 minutes, I put a little idea in here. You can host it somewhere else. So some of you have Adobe Spark. You could do that. You can use your computer and upload the file and store it in OneDrive, and then you would just post the link in the activity instead of recording right within SeeSaw. This might be something that I need to do a separate video on. I don't really want to spend a lot of time doing this because this is almost a separate thing, but just know that you do have options if you're wanting a longer video. John, do you have anything to say in here that would be helpful about external videoing?
I really don't. I mean, we've got Microsoft Stream and some things like that, but when you try to bring that in with your kids, that's not going to be good. So
what about Loom? Would that work? Does it host in Loom? They could post the link?
Yeah, it would be a link, and you'd have to go out to that link, and that would probably work. I'd have to test that specifically for students on the iPad because I haven't done that.
Okay.
We can do some testing there.
Okay, so just know that if that continues to be a problem and you're needing longer file size or larger file size or longer, we'll get together and do a little video and send that out. I've had a couple of questions on it.
That we want to keep videos, generally we don't want videos that are more than about 5 minutes. But
yeah, I agree. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. But there could be, I guess, a reason. I don't know. Okay, audio comments very quickly. I just want to make sure that you guys knew that anytime you do anything in SeeSaw, they rely heavily on audio comments, which is one of the reasons I like it, because it enables really young really young users to be able to participate in here without having to be able to write. So like if I'm in my drawing and I'm doing this, I've got this, even within captions, when I click on captions, there's also a voice caption. There is also this option to use audio commenting, which I love that. So, if you have kindergartners that can't read what you're typing to them and you're like, hey, you did great, then you have that option to actually leave a voice comment and they can hear it. So I think a lot of you guys know that. I just wasn't sure that everybody knew that. I just wanted to throw that out there. Okay, next, and I think I'm doing pretty good. I think I may get finished. Creative tools. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on creative tools. Honestly, if you don't know what all of this stuff does, I would get in and just play with it. Your kids probably know it. Some of them that are just starting may not know it. I dropped this picture in here. It just tells you what everything does. The one thing that I needed to tell you about is that when you're adding images to the creative, what are they, canvas, they call that the creative canvas. When you're adding images to that, you can add up to 10 images, which is really cool. So for instance, if I'm going into my creative canvas here, just right quick, I wanted to show you, and I click on camera, and of course the photo is going to take a picture of you, but the upload, so I can go to, I probably have those same rabbit pictures in here somewhere. I don't know what these are all screenshots, but it doesn't matter. I'm just going to select these, all of them, boom. So just know that you can have up to 10 images on each page. And in a minute, I'm going to talk to you about multi-page, but right now I just wanted to show you that option. Or they could just bring one in. Or when you're creating a template, you can do that also. So just, that's a really great addition. That's fairly new. Multi-page, oh good, we're already here. Okay, so multi-page is also, look right up here, SeeSaw Plus, but it's awesome. I think you get up to 10 pages. So when you are in your, I'm back in my canvas here. Right down here at the bottom, you can click add page. And I like to think about this much like a slide deck. So you've got a page 1, page 2, page 3, and you could even have a one sentence up here at the top. Let's say you have 5 different things that you want the kids to find or to do. You could have a sentence at the top of each page, and then that just toggle to each page and add their things to it. So it prevents you from having to do a separate activity for every single thing you want them to do. You can use pages. So I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that was there. Again, it's only those of you that updated to the SeeSaw Plus. This note was interesting. Once your trial expires, your multi-page posting activities will still be there. They don't disappear, which is nice, but you can no longer edit them with your creative tools. So they don't take them away from you. You just can't go in and do anything with them anymore. So just wanted to mention that. Okay, next we are on to another quick tip. You can add a post without assigning to any students and then edit the people when you're ready for them to see the message. So I thought this was I don't know. I feel like this is a little workaround. So what I'm talking about is, let's say that I'm sending an announcement. I'm deleting that. Get out of there. Oh, slow. Okay, sorry. So I'm going to click right here and send an announcement. So I'm going to send it. Okay, let's talk about this. I think I talked about it last time. There really is no reason for you guys to be sending this to family members unless your family members were connected to your SeeSaw class before all this started. And what I mean by that is through the family app, not through the class app. If they're using the class app, you might as well just send it to students. So let's say I'm going to type this in, and this is just an example. Then right here, wait. I don't want to send, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in the wrong thing. This is using notes. I'm very sorry. That is how you do announcements. This is what I was talking about. So if I go in and I click notebook and I type my announcement or my whatever, and another quick tip is that if I were you guys, I would start dating everything. Because if you want to go back and find something, or kids are trying to find it, every announcement, every activity, I would start putting dates in front of it. It's just going to be easier for you to find. But let's say that I'm done. I'm going to click check, and it says, who do you want this to go to? And again, I can read it down there. Don't check anything. So if you don't check anything, what's going to happen is it's only visible to you. So then when you're ready, let's say this is a letter and you want to go ahead and get it done on the weekend, and then you're ready for the kids to see it, you just go down here to edit people right here, and then you can click all your students or whoever gets it and send it then. So this is sort of like a draft letter workaround. You draft it, you don't give it to anybody, it just sits in your feed until you're ready. Again, that's the reason I would date it. And here's an example I put on here. I dated it. This is a letter. So anyway, hopefully that is a time saver for you. Again, using the notebook to post tasks. This is actually one of our, I think it's some of our third grade teachers here at SSISD. They did this. They're using the notebook as a reading log so that they could go back in and click edit assignment, and they could put their new date in there and how many minutes they read or whatever. So I just wanted to make sure you knew that that was an option. Magnification, a lot of people don't know this even exists. This is with everything. How many of you have dropped in something like this and your kids are like, oh my gosh, I can't write that small, or even if it's not that small. Let me go into my activities and find that specific activity. It's in here somewhere. Wait, where is it? Maybe it's in my journal. I just wanted to show you how the magnifying glass works. It's pretty cool. So right here, I'm going to go in and, well, I don't know if I have to go in as a student. No, I can go in here. Okay, so right up here at the top, these two things I wanted to show you. The square or the frame, what that does is it gets rid of all of your creative tools to give the kids more room to write. And when they need their creative tools, they just click this. The plus, let's say that you have a child and they're trying to write, right? So they're going to click this plus sign, and they might even click it again. They can move it. So I'm going to move it here, and then I'm going to use my pen to write the answer. Ooh, that's kind of a thick pen. But then whenever I go back and click this, it snaps it back. So basically, it's a good way for kids to be able to write in something really small. It makes it big. They can write it and then click that button again, and it snaps it back to the correct size. So I just wanted to show you guys that that was there. Labeling, and I made a whole separate one. So this is just a quick tip to label announcements and activities with a date. This is an announcement that I have, and I put this in there sort of on the slide because I love Wonderopolis. I don't know if you use it or not, but this was an activity that I included, and it's just a wonder of the day. So kids can go or wonder of a week, and then they respond to it. But I linked this in here in case anybody is interested in doing that, because I just thought it was really a good idea. Okay. Wow. That was a lot. And I'm 10 minutes. I thought I would talk the entire hour. So next week, same time, same day, 3 to 4, we are going to have another Zoom meeting, and it's going to be App Smashing with SeeSaw. Very quickly, App Smashing means how you can incorporate some of the other apps or tools that the kids have with SeeSaw. And a lot of you already do that, and that's fine. But this is just going to be our next topic. So we will try to get a link out to you about that. It will also be in Eduphoria, and you can sign up for that. Okay, John, I'm going to stop sharing my screen because I've gone through there. You guys have all that stuff. Are there any glaring questions? Is everybody fully confident in all that?
There hasn't been anything really coming in other than a few people with some sound issues. Obviously, I posted in there while you were talking that you were intentionally going fast and furious in hopes that at least expose them to some of the ideas of what's out there.
Yeah.
That way they can start to go, oh, I want to know more about that. Mm-hmm. And then I also said in there that you'll, of course, be available for help and extra support as you get into it. I would suggest that, you kind of fast forward through the recording and, look for the pieces you liked and then really capture what she's saying, and then go and explore a little bit on your own and see what you can find. I also put a link, and we'll send it out to you when we send out the video that Janelle had asked to send, which is Remote Learning for Families videos that or content that SeeSaw put together. And so that is in the chat as well. You want to make sure you grab that. We'll also put it on the For Families page on our website so that everybody has that. I'm going to shut up, and you guys, if you want to ask questions, there's about 8 minutes here before the hour is up.